By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
What is going down, y'all? My name is Cody I.O., currently going viral on TikTok as the ex-alcoholic liver failure survivor, also leading the most powerful sobriety movement in the world. You are officially listening to 20TIMinutes. Let's make magic, make moves, and let's make memories.
What is going on, my people? Episode 23 of 20TIMinutes. You know the deal. Mental health podcasts, insight, humor, personal stories. That introduction was by Cody I.O. His level of enthusiasm is fantastic. I absolutely love this guy. So like he said, he is a liver failure survivor, which is just nuts as it is. His energy level is like mine times 2. I absolutely love talking with him, and his interview drops this Thursday. He is great on TikTok. He tries to help the newer generation with their possible alcohol issues and just being so positive. And we had such a great talk. And the thing I loved about him is he's so Californian, like California. But I told him, I was like, dude, you remind me of like an unlockable character in Tony Hawk. And great sense of humor, great smile, great dude. What's funny enough is he kind of reminded me of Pauly Shore. And he's like, dude, funny you say that. He's like, some people think I look like Vin Diesel. And they call me Vin Weasel. And I was losing it. It was great. And then we also have our matchup in rock, paper, scissors. So you can see the outcome of that. Do we see Tim going 1-1, or do we see Tim go 0-2? You're going to have to tune in this week. I usually drop those on Wednesday now of my rock, paper, scissors journey to greatness. Obviously started off 0-1, which is terrible. Terrible way to start the career, right? So let me just shout out my good people, Vinyl Disorder, with my stickers. I have a bunch left. If you want one, hit me up. I'll get one out to you. And also I have this other little thing that I have. It's like a page. It's called Buy Me a Coffee, and you can sign up for like a separate subscription with me. I don't do anything crazy on it. Like if you want to be added to like my Instagram, have like a shout out, you can do an intro. There's like different tiers to it to help donate to the show, because I do have to pay for certain things like the hosting site, which is called Buzzsprout, through the year, and how much time I can put on the internets. So Julene from It Goes Down in the PM, she was on a past episode. She's great. She just actually donated $5 to the 20TIMinutes organization, LLC. I don't know what LLC means, and now I see it everywhere with businesses, and now I'm too afraid to ask. But I feel like someone will text me and give me a heads up what it actually means. So tune in. Hit up your boy. So thank you to Julene for that donation. It means a lot, and I'll probably pay it forward to somebody else when I remember, because I forget everything. So please remind me. Things are going good. It's going really good, actually, with my mental health. Recently, a really good friend of mine that I grew up with asked me to be his JOP, his JOP, Justice of the Peace. If you don't know what that is, it's somebody that ordains a wedding and marries 2 people, which is a great thing to be asked for. I absolutely love that, and I can't wait. And I was like, oh, instantly, yes. And then I would like look into it and make sure that like, I'm doing it right. And like I would read things of how to be a good one. And I was just like, oh shit, I gotta like live up to expectations, because I was obviously picked for a reason. And I gotta make it good. Obviously it's not about me, it's about the married couple. But again, obviously I gotta get the crowd warmed up. Gotta get them pumped for the wedding. But that's gonna be super fun. So that put me in a great mood. We met up with them last night and had some dinners and some foods. I think pretzel bites are an underrated like appetizer. I love a good soft pretzel. Even like the pretzels you get at like Stop and Shop that are frozen, and then you gotta like run water on them, and you can put salt on them and put them in the oven. Those things must be terrible for you. Those things are good though. Frozen pretzels, shout out Frozen Pretzels, whoever makes them. Give me a sponsorship. I definitely need a sponsorship by Little Debbie, and every time I send them my tattoo, they do not acknowledge it. They reply to everybody but me. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I shed blood for them, and I still got nothing. So if anyone knows a contact with Little Debbie, or actually knows Little Deborah, please let me know, because I want to talk to her. If you're tuning on YouTube, you can see that I got new lights. I got like TikTok lights, but I'm not TikToking. I'm just podcasting. TikTok Tim would be a great name though. Timmy TikTok, dude, I might get on that. My boy Cody might have to set me up. But my good buddy Job from Decent Takes podcast, which I'm going to be on them coming up. He helped me with everything. He zoomed me, zoom in my room. Don't shake your rump. How they doing? And he just taught me how to use these lights so it's not as bright and my bald head isn't so shiny, which I was trying to figure out. So got the ring light positioned in the right spot, got blue behind me. I wanted green, but it didn't look too great. And then I got some on the table, so I'm just illuminated times 1,000. I was on a bunch of podcasts recently. It's a good, cool feeling to be asked to be on a podcast, especially when it's like a random one and they like hit you up. And I'm like, definitely, I give 110%. I do feel like I say the same thing for all of them, but you should still listen to them. I'm always forgetting the names and shit. My boy Ross, his interview was great. Fantasy Friendship was great. I talked about those last week. And I just have a lot of fun. And the interviews I have coming up, man, are just like insanely crazy good. And I can't wait to share that with you. And the Doug Middleton one I released last week, that one came out good. I got a lot of props on that. And I don't get nervous, but I'm always second guessing myself if they're going to be good or not. And I was excited to drop that one. I felt really good after that. And I like tackling subjects like that and talking to different people. Like obviously we talked about the African American community and how that's handled and how their numbers are way higher in suicide rates and how it's tough for that demographic to go seek help. So that was really good. People still compliment me on my postpartum interview, which was like a great start to getting to interviews with how I am. Like I go off strong. And man, I'll tell you, the people coming up, different demographics, different types of people, it's going to be fun. And I feel like I handle it in such a good way because I'm like an overgrown child and I'll ask like innocent questions, but like that doesn't offend anybody because I feel like there's a lot of people out there like me that like want to know the question because I feel like that's a good way to interview. You got to interview in a way where the listener is like, dude, ask that question. Dude, ask that question. Because I'm that dude. I'm like, dude, ask that question. So I try to keep that in my head when I'm doing it. But yeah, man, it's always so cool with people online asking me to join their podcast. It's very cool. A morbid idea that came in my head was like, I'm friends with all these people that I don't know personally, like doesn't have my number or Facebook or whatever. And I was like, once if I died? Like, how would people know on the internet? Like, obviously I wouldn't be releasing episodes, but with my personality, it wouldn't be weird if I did not do an episode because I usually give up on a lot of things. So yeah, like, what would you do? How would you know? I told Lindsay she has to do like a weekend at Bernie's thing with me. So I'm still in the cat closet and she's just rigging me on like wires like I'm a mariachi. Is that what it's called? Mariachi? Like the string, like it's like Team America World Police. They're just going to do that with me in here. So you won't notice. Yeah, my moods have been good. It was funny. My good friend Christina came by and we did like a photo shoot for me, which is like, I feel like an egomaniac getting that done because like, why do I need photos? But I realized that a lot of these interviews I have, they like need promo pics for me unless they just want like a shitty selfie. So it was actually really fun to do like different photos with her, and I'm excited to see how they came out and have everyone make fun of me about it. But great photos. We were outside, got ones with my dogs. Gonna do like Instagram inspirational posts of like me looking out to the clouds and be like, keep your head up, even if they're in the clouds. 20 minutes. Put that on a t-shirt. Great segue. And I don't even have that written down. Got new t-shirts coming out. I'll just tell you, the color of them, Celtic green. Think about it. They're going to be phenomenal. Even if you're not a Celtics fan, get one because it has nothing to do with the Boston Celtics. But I'm very excited for that shirt. I'm pretty much out of shirts now, finally. I got like 2 hats left, but also I got new hats coming out. They are going to be funky fresh. So funky. The funk. Bringing the dunk. 5, Slam Dunk the Funk. That was the song of the week last week. So I wanted to talk about this, and I'm going to bring it up in a future episode, and it's never not ready. What am I trying to say? It's never too soon or there's a bad time to bring it up, but it's suicide. Such a awkward thing to talk about with people, especially if you are nervous about talking to somebody with it, because there's two types of people that do it, and I'm kind of one of that person. Is there's the funny type where you make jokes, and then there's a serious type, and it's hard to differentiate because you could be joking, but deep down you are serious, and there's like tips to handle that. And they always say, and this is like the NAMI, the CDC, like you're supposed to go at it head on and just talk to them and be like, hey, are you serious or not? Because I feel like I've been noticing that that's a pattern with that, or you're kind of scaring me, or people are asking me about it. It's good to have those awkward conversations, even if you don't really know how to handle it, if you're just like stuttering like I would, or just feel like super uncomfortable. But I would rather have an anxious, nervous conversation than be at someone's funeral and be like, I should have said something, even when I saw it. So the awkward conversations versus the awkward conversations at a funeral. So if you ever feel like you have a friend, family member, or somebody making weird statements, especially if they're consistent, I would say reach out. And then this was a topic that I was asking my podcast friends about, and it was like you get to that point and that person says yes, then what do? You're like, you say yes and you're like, oh shit, what do we do? So I got a lot of tips, and what you got to do is be there for them and make sure that they get help. I think the tips, and again, this doesn't work for everybody, and you got to make your own decisions with how you would handle this, but I would say that you have to give them the resources, and just not give them the resources and be like, hey, good luck, pal. You got to be sitting with them, showing them that you care, be with them, like make some phone calls, find out resources where they can talk to their doctor, anybody. Like this crisis text lines. I have a resource page on my website, 20TIMinutes.com/ resources probably, but you can find it on the main site. There's like a crisis text line where you can text somebody for free, and they talk to you via text. I know a lot of people have a tough time talking to people on the phone, aka I do. Haven't used the crisis text line. I'm just saying I don't like talking to people. Like when I send a company an email, then they call me right back. I'm like, just send me an email. I work overnights. I don't want to talk to anybody. I talk to people all day. I talk by myself in 20 minutes or less or more in the cat closet. Just shoot me a fucking text, all right? Only call me if it's an emergency, or like the people that call you and they say, hey, your family member gave you a Marriott's reward. I get them on the phone, all right? And they have like a buffer, that like a fluffer, as you will. And they're like, oh, this is so-and-so. And then you say like you're interested, and then they get the closer on the phone. Like it's some fucking like NASDAQ thing. Fucking stocks. Dogcoin, don't understand what it is. Everyone needs to be quiet about that. And then they get them on, and then I pretend I'm like, hey, Harriet, we got in a... So I mess with them for a while. Then I just give like a fart noise and hang up. But again, don't call me. Do not call me, please. Just text me. Unless you feeling ill or suicidal, please give me a call ASAP. And I looked up a bunch of... I gotta stop doing that noise with my mouth. Looked up a bunch of stats, which is fucking terrible. So I saw one where it was the updated list, but obviously they can't get all the information from that year. But from 2019 to 2020, this is surprising. It went down, suicide rates went down 5% overall. And a lot of like researchers, know what I always find weird when there's like researchers have found like that, like if you drink Mountain Dew, the fucking yellow number 5 gives you less sperm count. I always like picture doctors like with like those like beakers, and they're like dropping little droplets in it. Like I gotta find out those people that do like weird researches. It's like, oh, like the 9 out of 10 dentists. Where is that 10th dentist that's like, no, Colgate fucking sucks? Where are those people at? Gotta get to the bottom of this. Again, suicide is very serious. I'm just going back and forth. And my game plan with this podcast is have these conversations that are super awkward, but try to crack a smile. That's another thing I want to try to do. I think I got a new tagline that I should trademark. Break the stigma by cracking a smile. What do we think of that? No one steal it. Should I give it an LLC? Again, I don't know what the fuck an LLC is. It sounds like a rapper. LL Cool J. Maybe he made it up. LLC, LL Cool J. Ladies love Cool James. If you didn't know if that's what it stood for. But so 2020, 5% down, but they noticed, and they haven't confirmed it, and this is with like the CDC, is, and the New York Times had an article, but I don't know if they're legit either, that persons of color, their percentages went up, which is kind of weird to me if overall the numbers went down, but I guess it would even out. So if there's like, yeah, obviously, again, we talked about persons of color, people of color, persons, don't know English, and how that is, which is awful. Don't care who you are. If you are killing yourself, that we got to get that fixed. 5% is good, but it could have been 6% or 7%. And so the total, okay, let me go over this. I'm looking at my board right now, and I write terrible notes. I write notes like I speak English. Me fail English? That's impossible. Ralph Wiggum Simpsons. So 2019, suicide was the 10th cause of death. I don't know what the first 9 is, and I should have looked that up because people at home are probably like, what are the top 10? Doesn't matter. Number 10 is suicide, and that should be like number 99, or shouldn't even be on the list. But again, it's unrealistic to stop suicide as a whole, which is a very obvious statement. But we got to get these numbers down. We got to figure it out. Just to have awkward talks with people about it. I'm awkward right now, and hopefully someone listening to this it can help in one way or another. So there was a number, and I was just going to write 47K, but I wrote down 47,511. There should have been at least one person, like that could have been 47,510 instead of 11. And that's kind of crazy to know. And there was 1.38 million attempts. And like there's attempts where someone's home, like no one would know. So that number must be lower than the actual number of attempts. Because like say you were home and you did something, but then you woke up or something else happened, you didn't tell a family member, you just like went on your day the next day. So that number is not accurate, but it's way fucking high. And then realistically, it's way, way higher, which averages out to 130 a day. 130 a day people kill themselves. That is brutal. 130 is a lot of people. That's friends, family, co-workers, neighbors. Man, it's super sad. And whatever your stance is on firearms, I get it. If you listen to one of my episodes, I'm anti-asshole. If you like guns, if you don't like guns, if you're cool, it is. But if you can have a normal conversation with the opposite side, you're cool. If you just yell at people and throw up like random websites on your Facebook that aren't resourced, come on, get to stepping. Firearms, 50.39%. So it's over 50% that people have killed themselves with guns. And I always thought about that. Like if you feel suicidal and you go buy a gun, it's like how would they know? Like you can, like people wear masks, so I can be like, oh yeah, I'm going hunting, and then fucking you take your life. It's insane. So I don't know why, but I looked up the states because there's different states. The highest suicide rates. It's not like total because like California was number 1. The rates, top 3 are Wyoming, Alaska, and Montana. I don't know why those 3 states. I don't want to say they're bad or boring or whatever, but they're all kind of the same in my opinion, even though I haven't gone out west. Like, isn't Alaska like dark 24 hours a day? It's like in Washington when it like would rain every day. Seattle, Washington. I know a lot of like Kurt Cobain. I like that is depressing. If it's dark 24 hours a day, that's brutal. But the bottom 3, New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, which was very surprising. I would have thought New York was in the top 5 with just the number of people. But then again, it's the rate. But I'm going to end this episode this Thursday. Cody, IO, dropping that fun interview, rock, paper, scissors. I want to tell you guys, if you're feeling suicidal, please call 911. Reach out to a friend, anybody. You can reach out to me. We can do it together. I'll help you. We can figure it out. Don't care. Again, I'm always up. Just give me a shout. I'll give you my cell phone number. Do not fucking care because no one... people say it's like selfish. I would never say that, but I don't want to go to someone's funeral and be like I should have said something, or I wish they reached out. I hate when my computer locks me out, and this is super awkward. So I'm gonna lock back in because I'm making sure this is recording, and it is. Thank Christ. Again, do not hesitate to reach out, please. If you're feeling suicidal or anything, or if you feel like just like shit, reach out to me, please. I'll end with this music suggestion: Little Richard, Lucille. It is the name from the song that I named my cat because I was listening to that song way too much. We adopted a cat, and I was like, her name's gonna be fucking Lucille. And they're always like, oh, is that Negan from fucking Walking Dead? I'm like, no, I gave that show up when they're in the jail. That show got ridiculous. I think it's still on. I don't know if it is, but I would love to know when people gave up on that, because that show got so boring. Like, we get zombies, cool. Stop it. Then the movie I suggested, I just keep seeing it pop up, especially with Kurt Russell's kid, Wyatt, I think. He's in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He's awesome. Like, Kurt Russell's son is the man. So I'm going with the movie, Kurt Russell, The Thing. One of the best horror movies of all time. Shout out Duff, I think, for getting me into that movie, because, again, if you listen to this podcast, don't watch a lot of movies or I'm super late on them. Like, I watched Slapshot for the first time in, like, I don't even know what year, like 2015. I watched it in like the middle of July. Like, what am I doing? But I thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of 20 Minutes. Break the stigma by cracking a smile. Time's up. Tim McCarthy, host of the podcast 20 Minutes. You know what I'm going to say right now. And I love you guys so much. Thanks for rocking with me. Every Tuesday, we have 20 Minutes. Thursdays, there's interviews that are longer than 20 minutes. I don't get it, but neither do I. Love you guys. Give somebody a hug. You guys have a great day. Bye.
You can kiss my ass.
This podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. If you are feeling suicidal, please dial 911.